what I intend to do over the next 30 minutes is really to give you share some of my experiences in my 14 years of clinical practice, to give you my understanding of biology and psychology, and to put that into a mind-body-spirit paradigm of healing. We'll look at some new science, epigenetics, talking about Bruce Lipton's work, and we'll also sort of look at the mind and Candace Perth's work of molecules of emotion that again can affect your health, and putting that whole thing into a spirit container. Now, I know you're thinking, what she's about to talk about, it sounds a little far out there. So I thought that would be a good place to start, in outer space. So pretend we're away from the city, the lights and the pollution, and we're looking up into the night sky, and we'll see stars and a moon. And if we look through a telescope, we'll see the moons of Jupiter, hundreds of light years away. What appears chaotic has order. What looks random has organization. These are the laws of the universe that give us comfort and security in being able to predict our environment. So we know that the sun always rises in the east, summer always follows spring, generally in Canada, and what goes up must come down. Universal laws. Now these universal laws filter from the outer parts of our solar system into every living thing. It's in ladies and ladybugs. It's in the smallest seedling or in the tallest redwood. It's in boys and puppy dog tails. And it's in you, right now, that intelligence, that universal wisdom. From the moment you became you, when cell, sperm meets egg, boom, and that dance of division begins. In fact, the dance of division probably began a few songs earlier. But let's just say we're here and the cell's starting to divide, 2 into 4, 4 into 16, 16 into 24. Until 9 months later, you have 1 billion cells, all with a different purpose. What guides that? So at day 24, a heart appears. And at day 36, a set of eyes develop. Does anyone know when the nervous system develops? Beautiful. You must be a chiropractic student, are you? Like the exact answer. Thank you. So it is 7 hours after conception. So truly it's the nervous system that guides and differentiates all the other tissues. So even if I wasn't a chiropractor, I'd be pretty excited about the nervous system. So now we've looked at, you have a sheet there in front of you. I'm just going to get one so I can, if you have a pen, most of the points that I'm going to talk about will be on this sheet, and I was going to write them on the board, but we're running out of time, so instead of taking time to write, I'm just going to ask you to refer to your sheet. So we've just talked about the universal intelligence, that spirit. Now we're going to slip down into your body, because your body is your physical manifestation. The body's made up of organ systems like your cardiovascular system, your respiratory system. Then it's further divided into organs like your heart and lungs, then to tissues like the smooth muscle tissue in your heart. Tissues divided into cells. Cells are then divided into sort of a control center, a nucleus that controls DNA, which is that double helix structure. DNA is broken down into genes, then further broken down into molecules, atoms, subatomic particles. So that's the body. Right in between, you have the mind. The mind is the interface between that universal intelligence and the body. And a conscious mind, so if you're all conscious here, you're listening to my ideas, attending to my ideas, but passively, there's ideas coming into your mind. And when you leave here, hopefully you'll have active thoughts. So it'll be an active output or active outcome. The mind and body communicate to each other via neuropeptides, molecules. Candace Perth, anybody know who Candace Perth is? Do you know her book? Thanks, Peter. Candace Perth is a pharmacologist scientist. She's the lady who discovered the opiate receptors in the 70s and 80s. She was interviewed on What the Bleep Do We Know? She has many books, but her latest one is called Molecules of Emotion. I refer to this a lot. It'll be worth a read for you. But she talks about how these neuropeptides move from your mind to your body. And we all know that because we had some beautiful examples earlier. Just like the fight or flight response. You know, if I see a rattlesnake, my pupils are going to dilate, my heart's going to beat fast, my breathing is going to increase, gastric acid in my stomach will increase, and my palms will start to sweat. Incidentally, that's the same sort of reaction when I see a handsome man. Kind of kidding. But you all know that those emotions can affect your physiology. And I like to look at emotions as energy in motion. It's really an incongruency in that mind-body-spirit system. When things are congruent, you reach a place of love and gratitude right in the center. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. And I'm going to give you some tools, the ways you can manage your own emotions. But Candace Purse said the mind talks to the body, but the body also talks back to the mind. I'm going to give you 2 clinical examples of that. Mr. M comes into my practice and he looks like this. So his chin is off to one side, his shoulders are unleveled, his pelvis is uneven. And within 10 or 12 visits, his structure's looking pretty straight, symmetrical, full range of motion. I said, you must be feeling better, Mr. M. He said, actually, I've had quite a lot of anxiety. My body feels better, but since you start treating me, I have so much anxiety now, I can't get on the plane. He said, I travel with my work and I've had to see a psychiatrist. I have to take a handful of drugs in order to get on the plane. So have I facilitated healing, or have I just moved it around, transformed it, taken it from his body, his anxiety, and put it into his mind? Case 2, Mrs. J, who comes in and she has shoulder pain that's came on insidiously 10 years previously. Insidious means they don't know what caused it. Just 10 years ago, she had this left-sided shoulder pain. Remember left, because that'll be significant for a story I'll tell you later on. Left-sided shoulder pain. Again, 10 visits or so, and she's feeling good range of motion. I can see mechanically things are moving better, so I pose the question, you really must be feeling better now. Actually, no. By the way, some of my patients do get better. Is there anyone in the room that can attest to that? Okay, 2, thank you.